So we will begin sitting in any seated position. I will just briefly go through Samadhi, which is the topic of the day. So there are 8 limbs of yoga. The first 2, yama and niyamas, briefly said is how to be a good person. Then we have asana practice, which is the 3rd one. Then we have pranayama, which is the 4th one. The 5th one is pratyahara, literally means withdrawal of senses, so we kind of turn them off and we turn them inwards. So we stop receiving signals from the environment. Then we have concentration, dharan, and dhyan, meditation, the 7th one. The 8th one is samadhi or enlightenment. Here they are very controversial theories again, because who has experienced samadhi, the enlightenment, this superior conscious. When I asked the teachers in India, the philosophy teachers, and they told me Buddha is that kind of person, and Christ and Muhammad, and I was okay. So this might be not not possible for me. So this is something that exists. Nobody has been there. Nobody knows what it is. Everyone discuss it. There are some gurus that use this misunderstanding and they present themselves as acquire that state already, samadhi, which of course is nonsense. What is meant by samadhi is the non-attachment and not creating karma. So how we theoretically come to samadhi. So the purpose of yoga is to find that high conscious, that connection with the universe. So from the crown chakra, we are connecting with the whole universe. And how we reach that samadhi? Once we find this so healthy body, stable position, practice vipassana, steady mind, practice the breathing techniques, then we turn the senses inwards, which is rather a natural process. It's not something that you can practice, like stop hearing or stop seeing or whatsoever. Then we are mastering the concentration. Once the mind is empty, concentration is 12 seconds concentrating on one point, according to some authors. Then the next one, meditation, is 12 seconds multiplied by 12. Concentration on one point, then is meditation. So only keeping the mind concentrated to that one point. And then the samadhi, they say, is 12 seconds multiplied by 12 multiplied by 12. Then this will be samadhi. Calculated is almost half an hour. So almost half an hour only being concentrated on one point without having any thoughts that are coming or going, just focusing the mind on one point, not hearing, not listening. I'm not sure if this is possible. Maybe it's possible for someone, but we don't know for whom. So by non-attachment is meant that we don't have goals. So if the samadhi itself is a goal, we're never gonna get it. So it's just something that is supposed to happen without having it as a goal. Of course, if we don't have goals in the urban world, in the material world, we're not gonna acquire anything. And this is also where there is some confusions, because we either live in the material world, so we are attached to family, to friends, we have goals, we are attached to material possessions, to home, to job, and so ever. Or in order to not have goals at all, there, for example, in India, men, they go in Himalayas in order to meditate in a cave, or just to stay in the mountains for years to meditate, to not be attached to the material world. But this is also not mandatory. So if you go with the mountains and you say, I will go there in order to learn meditation, or in order to do that so that I can reach that state, then it's already a goal. This means it's not going to happen. So that's the tricky part. And then not creating karma here is meant not just not creating bad karma, so not hurting anyone, but also not creating good karma, which is also quite confusing, because this means we are not going to do good things, but it is meant that we're not gonna have goals. So we're just gonna do something without having it as a goal. I will be a good person, so I will help that homeless guy, for example. I'll give him €5. This good karma, according to that Samadhi theory, then this is also not a thing. So we just do our thing, go with the flow, we just let it happen without attachment. This is a rather an impossible task for a material person, and this is why there should be clear borders. So it's good to aim spirituality, but we should not forget we are material people, we are living in material world, and we can just use one part of the spirituality to adapt it according to our daily needs, but we should be stable, grounded. And with this I finished the Samadhi, and now we can begin breathing and then asana. We begin with Vastrika, faced over the shoulders, inhaling, extending the arms over the head and spreading the fingers. Exhaling, pulling down, face come over the shoulders. We're going to speed it up. Inhaling, open the fingers. Exhaling, pull it down. Inhaling forcefully, exhaling forcefully. And you can close your eyes and breathe with your own pace, with your own tempo. Just focus on your own breath. We're going to breathe like this for around a minute. Eyes closed. Last one. You can rest your palms on your knees, eyes closed. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. And open your eyes just to see the next breath, which is Kapalabhati. Left palm comes on the belly. Right palm is in mudra, index and thumb finger touching each other. Forcefully exhaling. Only focusing on the exhalation, drawing the belly in. You can close the eyes and focus on the movement of the abdominal wall. So only the abdominal wall is moving, only the belly. The last one, exhaling all the air. Rest the palms on your knees, eyes closed, spine straight, heart center lifted. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. You can slowly open your eyes. We move to the next breath, which is also warming up the spine. So we are also warming the body with gentle movements and also creating heat in the body. We're gonna do cat and cow breath. So we are inhaling and we are pulling the elbows alongside the body, opening the chest and looking up. Cow pose. Exhaling, we are rounding the spine, extending the arms forward, spreading the fingers. Inhaling, making a fist, pulling towards the body, elbows squeezing, looking up. With exhalation, we are rounding the spine, stretching the fingers forward. Inhaling, pulling the elbows close to the body, opening the shoulders. Exhaling, rounding the spine, pulling the spine back and the fingers forward. Inhaling, elbows close to the body, looking up, chest open. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, elbow close to the body, looking up. Exhaling and rounding. We're gonna speed it up. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and we're gonna make it forcefully. We're gonna do 20 of those, approx half a minute. With your own tempo, close your eyes and keep on breathing. And last one, resting the palms on the knees, eyes closed, spine straight, breathing. And slowly open your eyes to see the next breath. So we have one more breath, which is warming up the body. It's gonna warm up the shoulders. Palms are on the knees, pushing down. Extending the elbows, lifting the shoulders. Inhaling. Exhaling, dropping the shoulders down. Inhaling, arms straight, pushing the knees down, lifting the shoulders up. Exhaling, shoulders down. Inhaling, shoulders up. Exhaling, shoulders down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We're gonna speed it up, forcefully inhaling, forcefully exhaling, eyes closed. Approx a minute we're gonna spend like this. And the last one. Resting the palms on the knees, eyes closed, spine straight, horizontal lifted. Think about lengthening the spine through the crown of the head. And here, slowing down the breath. We've been doing Kriya Yoga, detoxifying breathing techniques. That are generating heat in the body. Observing the difference in the breath, the difference in the mind, the difference in the body, shoulders, back, belly, knees, feet. And slowly open your eyes and extend your legs forward. Shake it out a little bit. We're gonna move to the asana practice. You can also flex the ankles and extend them. Spread the toes and think about holding something with the feet. And then you can again find that seated position. I'm gonna stretch a little bit the neck. So with the left arm, we are wrapping around the head so the elbow comes on the top part of the head. And then we are just resting the arm on the head. Shoulders remain in line, so we are not leaning to the left side. Shoulders remain in the center, just the head is stretched towards the left side. Left arm is resting there. We are preparing for the headstand, stretching the neck. Coming to the center, we switch the side, so right arm bending the elbow, rubbing around the head, and the arm is just resting there on the head. Shoulders remain in line, just the neck is flexed. Nice and casual. Stretching the neck without any effort. Just staying there and breathing. Simple exercises are sometimes the best and the most needed that we often skip because we want to do difficult things. Come back to the center. Move to a little bit of stretch for the shoulders. So we're gonna hold both elbows over the head, bend elbows. And here we have a very gentle movement. Back and forth. Back and forth. So we are focusing not on lower bending the lower back. We are keeping the belly in and only from the shoulders, very gently. Back and forth. Back and forth. And you can think about maybe there is someone, maybe I'm standing behind you and I'm gently pulling your elbows. So the spine is straight, the belly is in. And just the movement is happening from the shoulders, very gentle movement. Very good one. Without force, just allow the shoulders to open, and maybe every time I'm going 1 millimeter further till you feel a little bit of burn. And make sure that you're only moving from the shoulders, so that you're not moving your head. We only want to warm up a little bit the shoulders. Super gentle. We come to neutral, elbows remain over the head. We're going to move them from side to side. You might need to flex now the head a little bit so that we create more space for the elbows to move behind the head. If it's possible, keep the head straight, but if this is limiting the movement of the shoulders, so for example, my shoulders are not that open, then head is flexed. So the neck is flexed forward. Just moving from side to side. Oh, it's a very easy, very gentle, very nice, very efficient. Spine is straight, the belly is in. And then we're gonna come to neutral, releasing the arms. Big beautiful circles with the shoulders up, back, down, and forward. Just a few of those, just to warm up all of the muscles of the rotator cuff, so all of the muscles that work in the shoulder and are rotating. Let's do big beautiful circles in one direction, and then we switch the opposite direction. So we move back, up, forward, and down. We come to neutral position, neutral spine. The left palm will come on top of the right knee. A little bit of side bend, right arm reaches towards the left side. And we lean a little bit forward, so it's kind of like a diagonal. So we move forward and to the left side. Right arm reaches over the head at the same time that the right knee is pulling down. We straighten the right side of the body. And breathing here, we hold for a few breaths. Patience is needed for Hatha yoga. We begin gentle, but we are preparing for more difficult things. We come to the center, we switch the side, right palm comes on the left knee, left arm reaches over the head towards the right, and we lean a little bit forward. So it's a mix between side bend and forward. Nice spinal stretch. Breathing. Breathing out, coming back to the center, to neutral position. One more time, you're gonna extend the legs and shake it out a little bit. We've been sitting for a long time. Maybe there is some tension in the knees and the thighs muscles. And we can also twist to one side, so both palms will come on the right, pushing the forehead towards the ground. The hips in the opposite direction towards the mat. Switch to the other side, palms on the left side, pushing the forehead towards the ground, twisting the spine a little bit. And switch on the side, maybe we release some tension from the spine, decompressing by all of those breathing techniques. We switch in the side. Let's do one more round. Exhale into one side, twisting, and to the other side, twisting. And we're gonna find our way into a tabletop pose on palms and knees. Spreading the fingers, index finger parallel if the shoulders are tight, or middle fingers parallel. It depends of the body. There should be enough space for the shoulders. We tuck the toes underneath, underneath the hips. We draw the belly gently in, so gently rounding the lower back, so that there is no this curve. We don't want this sexy back. Now we want to round it to engage the deep core. Toes are tucked under. We lift the knees. And we breathe. We're gonna stay here a little bit longer. We've been warming up the core with Kapalabhati and with Bhastrika Pranayama, generating a lot of heat. Now it should be easy. Just staying there and breathing. Almost there. We do 5 more of those breaths. 1, 2, pushing through the shoulders, lifting the chest, rounding the lower back. 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale and release the knees on the mat. From this position, we're gonna walk the palms forward. Drop in the forehead on the mat. The hips remain in line with the knees, perpendicular to the mat. Puppy dog pose. Opening the shoulders and the chest. Stay here a bit longer. Focus on the nice stretch. External rotation in the shoulders, spreading the shoulder blades. Whole palm is on the mat. Last time, inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna drop both elbows on the mat. Lifting the head, we keep the elbows parallel and lean forward with the upper body till we drop the hips on the mat, legs straight. Sphinx pose. From here, we're gonna push through the shoulders, lifting the chest. Palms are on the mat, spreading the fingers. Think about an invisible string pulling through the sternum, through that chest bone, and it's lifting the heart and pulling it forward. From that Sphinx position, we're going to push through the palms, directly extending the elbows. So this is a cobra modification. It resembles upper facing dog, but the difference is the palms are forward, so not underneath the shoulders. And here we're going to focus on shoulders away from the ears, shoulders externally rotating, and the elbows are slightly pointing down. So as if we want to put them on the mat, elbows are pointing down, but we keep the arms straight. Seal pose, breathing. Just a few more breaths here. Breathing in and out, we keep the elbows on the mat underneath the shoulders. We tuck the toes under and we lift the hips. We come into a forearm plank. You might need to walk your feet a little bit forward or a little bit back to find your arm position. We keep the palms flat on the mat if it's possible. It's more difficult. Elbows are closed, if possible, parallel to each other. The belly is in, so don't go too down with your hips. Even keep them a little bit higher, lower back a little bit rounded, belly in. Five more breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Push your heels back. 4, belly in, push through the shoulders. 5, inhaling and exhaling, knees on the mat, hips on the mat. And now you can clasp your fingers. And we do this Sphinx pose with clasped fingers. If it was too much for the shoulders, anytime you can come into a child's pose. Okay. From here, pushing through the shoulders, pushing the forearms on the mat. We're gonna tuck the toes under, lift the hips, forearm plank. This time, palms are clasped, and we're gonna begin to walk the feet forward till we come into a dolphin pose. Forearms are on the mat. We are pushing through the shoulders. We hold that posture a bit longer. So take your patience, take your strong shoulders. You can focus on pushing your hips back and down and breathing. And pushing through the shoulders. Focus on keeping your elbows close, so don't allow them to splay to the sides. If this is okay, you can even walk your feet a little bit more forward. Anytime it gets too much, you can just go out of the posture, take a child's pose. Five more breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling and exhaling, you can drop your knees wide open on the mat, on both edges of your mat. And you can drop your forehead and the chest between the knees, unclasp the fingers and just rest here. If you like, you can bring your both palms together underneath the forehead or just close to the head. Take a good break here, you deserve it. gonna do one more round, so you can lift your head. You can again clasp your fingers, keeping the elbows close. Gonna tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and bring the feet a little bit closer, finding our way to a dolphin pose. This time we're gonna walk the feet a little bit more forward. As forward as it's possible. So that the head comes maybe over the fingers. We're not gonna hold that long. Just for 5 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Knees on the mat, wide leg open. And rest for a few moments. House pose one more time. We were doing an inversion. So the head is below the heart level, which means it's very difficult. And we were also targeting some muscles in the upper back, the muscles that are pulling the shoulder blades down and keeping it in place, which we often have not enough developed because of the activities in the daily life. So we don't have them that strong, those functional muscles, so the deep muscles layers. And with these dolphins, we're gonna change it. Inhaling and exhaling, you can lift your head and you can bring your palms on the mat in front of you. So shoulder width apart, spreading the fingers, and from here we're gonna bring some weight of the body on the palms. We're gonna lift the knees and we're gonna step the feet forward behind the palms on both edges of the mat for yogic squat pose. Toes are pointing out. We're just gonna drop the hips down. The chest is lifted, palms are pushing towards each other, shoulders are relaxed. The thighs and their feet are in one line. You might need to adjust the position of your feet according to your hip flexibility. We hold the yogic squat. We're focusing on releasing the pelvic floor and the hips. So for the headstand, we want to have strong pelvic floor, but that's also functional muscle group that has to be not just strong, but also not too tight. Focus on lifting the heart here, opening the legs, inhaling and exhaling, and you can extend your arms forward, rounding the spine. We're gonna lean back and we're gonna close the feet, so we're gonna keep them parallel, point forward, and we're gonna find our way sitting on the mat, hips down and legs up, both pose. 5 breaths here. Legs can be straight or bent. 1, lifting the heart, spine straight. 2, shoulders relaxed. 3, keep on breathing. 4, 5, last one. Inhaling and exhaling. You can bring your both legs on the mat. You can cross them in front of you. Palms in front of you, walking over the knees only if there is no knee pain. Otherwise, just come to tabletop pose from the side. Palms underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers, tucking the toes under. We lift the knees, and this time we push the chest towards the knee. Extending the legs, pushing the heels down, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1. Focus on the opening of the shoulders and pushing through the shoulders. 3. 4. 5. Inhaling, exhaling, knees on the mat, child's pose. Arms are on the sides of the body, forehead on the mat. This time, arms are on the sides of the legs. Just for a few moments here, calming down the breath. Breathing in and out. From here, we're gonna move to the so-called rabbit pose. That's a very awkward pose, very unusual. So we're gonna hold the heels with our palms. We're holding the heels, and we are lifting the hips, extending the arms, hips up. You're holding the heels, and wherever the crown of the head reaches, we're gonna drop it there. Spine is round. That's a very awkward pose. It's stimulating the crown chakra and stretching the back side of the body. Breathing in and out, again coming to a child's pose just for a few moments here before we proceed to the headstand preparation. To the real headstand preparation. One more last inhalation and exhalation in the child's pose, and you can lift your head, and one more time we're gonna clasp the hands. First we're gonna hug the elbows. So we've been hugging the elbows at the beginning of the class and we were stretching the shoulders. So hugging the elbows so that we make sure that we find the right distance in between them. Then we're gonna clasp the fingers, but not too tight like we did for the dolphin. We're gonna keep them rather relaxed so that there is no pressure on the fingers. Fingers are relaxed. We're gonna drop the crown of the head on the mat in front of the palms. And then we can gently support the head, but not pushing it, not squeezing, not holding. Just there for support. And we are not collapsing on the head, so we are pushing through the shoulders, not just collapsing on the neck. There is too pressure. Pushing through the shoulders. And we can lift the knees and walk the feet forward. This is the position that we're gonna do. It's called headstand preparation. So the crown of the head is on the mat. Legs straight. You might need to adjust the ponytail. Yes, and just stay here. Whoa! Very good. So strong. Breathing. Stay here and breathe. Don't rush to extend the legs. Oh, okay, extend one. Breathing. Super strong. I am impressed. Breathing. Core is active, strong belly. Very good. Breathing, 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 breathing. Stay in child's pose. Stay in child's pose. Don't rush to lift the head. Stay in child's pose. And if you like, we can do one more round. This is just an option. Now we are hugging the elbows, clasping the fingers. Crown of the head is in front of the palms, gently supporting the head, pushing through the shoulders, tucking the toes under, and walking the feet forward. You can also just stay with one knee bent here, one leg straight. Then you can switch the side, just so that we stay more time upside down, head down. In inversion, one knee bent or one leg straight. And both feet on the mat, child's pose one more time. Relaxing. And just breathing here and relaxing. Breathe abdominal, maybe pushing the air to the lower back. Slowly lift the head around the spine and come into a seated position. Thunderbolt pose, sitting on the heels. And from here you can just drop the chin towards the chest and begin to draw slow circles clockwise. Head goes back, left, forward, super slow. There was a lot of tension on the neck. And when you finish your circle, you can switch direction anti-clockwise. When you finish your circle, you can lift the head and come to the center. And we have one more twist to release the spine, to decompress it. We can bring the hips on the side. Two more twists. Legs in front, knees are hip width apart, feet are knees width apart, palms back. Just gonna drop both knees to one side, and the hips are pushing the opposite direction, so we are twisting, and knees to the other side. Switching. Also releasing the hips, gentle twist for the spine. And when we finish the round, we can come to the center. Spine is straight. We bend the left knee, bring it on the mat, and left foot comes underneath the right thigh. And then the right foot will come on the outer side of the left thigh, and we're gonna twist. So you can hug your knee with the left elbow, right knee, left elbow. Right arm reaches behind. Or if this is too easy, then you can just stick the left elbow on the outer side of the right thigh and push the thigh with your elbow, lift the heart, twist and look back. Spine is straight. We are focusing on keeping it upright, invisible strength pulling the crown of the head. So we are not leaning to the side, just keeping it straight. And as we hold here that twist, maybe it becomes easier. And there is also an option to turn in, so roll in the left shoulder, bend the elbows, and bring the left arm underneath the right thigh. And then the right elbow comes behind the back, reaches, and hold the left fingers. If they don't touch each other, they can just still keep on looking. Bind is also an additional stretch for the shoulders. Even if we have the flexibility in the spine, for the bind we're gonna need open shoulders, and maybe sometimes they're limiting the movement. We take patience and we just breathe, and we take the time. Last time, inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna slowly come back to the center. Spine comes to neutral. We're gonna switch the side, so the left foot will come back. We keep it bent in front of us. Then we'll bring, I think I said the wrong side, right foot goes back. We bring the left foot in front of us, right knee on the mat, right foot underneath the left thigh. Left foot comes on the outer side of the right thigh. Right elbow, left knee hugging, left arm reaches back. Spine is straight and super long. We breathe in here. The chest is lifted with each inhalation, we are lifted up. With each exhalation, we are twisting more. If this is easy, bring the right elbow on the outer side of the left thigh. And don't allow the shoulders to go up, keep them down. And look back behind you. If this becomes too easy, you can roll your both shoulders in and slide the right palm underneath the left thigh. The left arm will come behind the back, both palms will look for each other. It's not about holding, it also depends on the body proportion, and also every day is different, so maybe someday will happen, someday will not happen. Palms can still look for each other even if they are not clasping. We're just breathing and looking back and twisting. Breathing in and out. If you're doing the bind, release it slowly and come back to the center, spine neutral. Unwrapping the legs, left foot comes back where it belongs on the inner side of the right thigh. Both legs straight. Shake it out a little bit. We're gonna find our way in Shavasana for 1 minute. Hips in the center of the mat, both legs straight, feet on both edges of the mat, palms facing the ceiling. Eyes closed, just observing the difference in the body, the difference in the mind, the difference in the breath. Just breathing for 1 minute Shavasana. Enjoy, well deserved after the headstand. Slowly bring the awareness back to your body and begin to move your toes and your fingers and your knees. Stretching the arms over the head, waking up the body from a deep sleep. Eyes are still closed. You can rotate to your right side. And through the right side, slowly with eyes closed, come back to sitting. Any comfortable seated position with a straight spine and eyes closed. You can bring your palms in front of the heart and begin to wrap them as fast as you can. And then you can cover your eyes and give them some energy. You can bring your palms in front of your heart and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.